Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Today marks the start of a new chapter in terms of interviews. The podcast is now going to be branching out to include all types of artists, not just musicians. So make sure to stay tuned and follow the podcast so you don't miss the exciting new season, which we'll be releasing in August. Our guest for today is filmmaker and creative director Keith Hankins. He spent nearly 30 years turning ideas into finished video. From community TV to commercial projects, Keith has done it all. From directing, shooting, editing, and even troubleshooting. He's done it all with a mix of grit, heart, and deep technical know-how. In this episode, we will be walking through the full creative process, from thought to completion. How do you take an idea and turn it into a finished piece? What gear do you really need? What happens when things go wrong? And what does it look like to build a sustainable workflow over the decades? This is the first episode in a two-part series featuring Keith. The second episode will be released in our upcoming season. So let's just jump right in. Perfect. So when you first get an idea or client, what's your starting point? What do you need to know before anything else?
Budget.
Oh, wow. Okay. That, again, not the answer I expected. But I mean that's kind of important.
Yeah, it's very, very important. Because here's the thing, man. When I started freelancing, okay, so A7 Creative is my second company. My first
Oh
company
wow.
was a company by the name of Mainstream Productions.
Okay.
And um that was, uh that was a good eye opener. We had uh some good experiences with that, but I wasn't the salesperson that I needed to be, and that
Okay.
business failed. But it was also at a time we were doing that during a recession, and video was not a commodity. I mean, it wasn't a popular thing to try and sell because it's a high dollar project, a product,
Hmm.
or a high dollar service during a time where people were not really wanting to spend money. So
Okay.
coming out of that, I got a job and I started freelancing. When I was freelancing, I was doing, work for dirt cheap, $300 here, $300 there, maybe $500 on a project. Um, and the thing about it is that when you're working on a project at that level, you can't afford to hire anybody. So you have to do everything yourself.
Hmm.
You may have a tight deadline, and um, and on top of that, you're not able to put into it everything that you want to put into it because there's
Okay.
no money there, right? So you're literally working to put some gas in your car. You're working to maybe pay an extra bill. That was hustle money back then. Which I mean, it's a good way to get some experience and kind of figure out your style. But it's no way to make a living, right? Um,
Hmm.
I mean, unless you're doing something like that daily, then you can make a halfway decent living. But nobody was really doing that daily back then. At least I wasn't. And didn't have time to do it daily because I was trying to hold down a job too.
Hmm.
So um, through uh, through experience, through mentorship, through uh, just uh, reading some books on business and things like that, and some stuff that was more focused on my industry, finding out how to charge for the work and seeing the value in the work that I was doing was paramount.
Hmm.
And that
Okay.
shifted my focus. And the thing about it is, like, when you start raising your prices, everybody doesn't come running, right? People that you were working with, they're like, oh, too much. It's not worth all that to me. But somebody out there is actually paying for, high dollar projects.
Hmm.
Um, and so why budget is like the main thing when looking to work with a client is because you want to be able to do everything that you can imagine for a client,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
And that's what it's really about is just having having that leeway to be able to do more. Otherwise, you're cutting out, you know, your creativity. You're cutting out being able to take care of your crew if you're able to afford a crew, um, and pay them what they deserve. And you're heaping on more stress to yourself, and that's not fun. That doesn't make for a good experience for yourself, which translates to not being a good experience for your client. Um, so yeah, budget is like it's like paramount.
How do you plan out a shoot? Do you storyboard, script, or like shot list?
Shot list usually. That's like once we get settled on what the project is, where it's going, um, we usually uh start off with a shot list. After if we have the opportunity to um scout a location or several locations, that helps us with planning out the shoot. Um, and so I think yeah, storyboarding, finding out the what the storyline um, is the next thing. You know, what's important, what are going to be the focal points
Mm.
in the project, um, is another thing, and then finding out the or developing the mood, the mode, or the look and feel of the project. Um, it would be the one of the other top tier things. And actually, we probably go look and feel first, um, to determine, you know, how we're going to shoot something, how we're going to light something, what music choice is are we going to make.
Okay.
Those would be like the top things that we're looking at.
Okay. And could you explain for those who don't know what a shot list is?
A shot list is simply um, it's like a screenplay, but let's say you're shooting a I don't know, a restaurant commercial, right? So your shot list, um, let's say the restaurant commercial is focusing on a new dish that they're going to take you through the process of uh what you're wanting to see. Now, technically, for a commercial, we would be doing a storyboard.
Mm.
But within that storyboard, basically your a shot list, a storyboard is basically a shot list with pictures, right?
Okay.
And whether those pictures are drawn or they're taken with the camera or they're sketched, all the same thing, as long as the person who's shooting it knows what's going on in that frame or in that description. So a shot list is like a description of what you're going to see in frame, for every aspect of the shoot.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Real quick example is like for a restaurant shoot. Let's say you want to start off with an establishing shot. The establishing shot is like a wide shot of where you are. It establishes where you are. Okay,
Mm.
we're shooting Olive Garden, right? Restaurant name. You see people going in, cars pulling up, and then you go to a medium shot or a tight shot of a hostess or whatever. You kind of give them the experience of going to this place. And then they may start the voiceover may start talking about this new dish that Olive Garden is releasing. And so we go automatically to the kitchen, right? We go to the kitchen, we see the flames, tight shot on flames, chicken being grilled on the grill or what have you. Another tight shot of something being tossed in some uh you know marinara sauce or some kind of cream sauce. You know, they're doing the things, the chef is doing the things, they're chopping onions and whatnot, tossing all this stuff together, right? All
Mm.
tight shots, medium shot of the server coming out with, this hot food on a platter. And they're walking all the way to the table where the patrons are sitting. Nice medium shot of them delivering. Tight shot of the patrons with a big smile and whoa, this looks great. They're happy about it. So on and so forth. That's
Wow. You
that's what
just
the shot
described like
list.
a mainstream TV commercial. That's insane.
Yeah, Olive Garden.
There you go. Now I want to go get some Olive Garden after this. No, but that's crazy. Yeah, that's a very good explanation for a shot list. Never heard it explained in such detail before. So there you go, guys. If you never knew what that was, now you definitely know what a shot list is. And I really liked what you said about like a shot a storyboard is a shot list but in pictures.
Yeah.
That's very visual, very I mean, I love storyboards a lot. I'm not a good I can't draw at all. So I would be making
Hmm.
a shot list as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
definitely.
if you want to do a storyboard because of technology, man, you don't have to worry about drawing things. You can AI it now. You know,
Oh
you
my God, it's
can
true.
just right? You can put the prompt in for what you want to see in this particular frame, put that in, and boom, you have the next picture.
Hmm.
Or you can, go and take photographs because if you go to a certain location, the location looks like. You want to, you want this particular scene here. You want that hallway. You want that stairwell. You want, you know, different things. You might even be able to, like, with photographing, you're even able to check the lighting in that particular location at a certain time of day
Oh
to
wow.
see what the lighting's going to look like. You can get very, very detailed with your storyboarding.
Okay, that actually
Yeah.
is really cool. So in the planning phase, what type of tools do you use? Like, what software or do you use notebooks, I guess, mood boards?
Mm, that's a great question. Right now, we're pretty much just using Google Docs and Google Sheets for our
Okay.
planning. Um, I haven't really dove into many other softwares just yet because we're not doing like a whole bunch of major projects. Oh, we do use Canva. We use Canva a lot. um,
Okay.
that helps with putting storyboards together and presentations for clients, and it just really helps us simplify things.
Talking about Canva, I was in the so I was doing the AV room at church and Josh was there with me and I was trying to make I needed to make a baptism slide. And I just saw Josh on his phone, I don't know, doing whatever. And then he just randomly turns his phone over and shows me this amazing slide he made with the word baptism in the background with and then mountains
Mhm.
right in front of it and it was really cool. And I asked, "How do you do that?" And he said, "On Canva." I mean, I use Canva all the time. I didn't know it was that powerful.
Yeah, it is, man. And if you get the pro subscription, it opens up even more tools that you can use, a lot cooler photos and graphics that you can use. You can even edit video on there. You can
Oh wow.
download stock footage, music tracks, all on Canva, and
Wow, okay.
it's pretty robust now.
I'll definitely have to look into that. So,
Yeah.
your standard gear setup, camera, lenses, audio and lighting, things like that. What's in your um kit on a typical shoot?
Everything you just said.
Okay.
plus plus some kind of gimbal, um uh or an easy rig, um for motion shots. Motion shots are, I mean, they're just necessary
Yeah,
now for the
definitely.
stuff that we do. Is just necessary. It makes, videos fun. Sometimes we have the opportunity to use drones, so we'll, break out a drone on a shoot. Um uh and mostly we're running two cameras, sometimes three. Um so having those options are good. Um uh Various types of lights, not just one set, maybe, two or three different sets and types of lights that we can use to create different type of moods. Um uh and then that all comes under like grip type stuff. And what I mean
Okay.
by that is like C stands. These are stands that hold your lighting or your uh, your filters or your even your like a boom mic. You put those things on a C stand, and a C stand is really a strong stand. It has three legs on it. It's kind of heavy. You have to put a sandbag on it so it doesn't tip over sometimes.
Oh wow.
Um, but it's a very sturdy stand that that you use, and it's just a multi-faceted tool that they use uh, from television to film, even photography. Um,
Okay.
this it's just a versatile piece of equipment that we use. Oh, and gaff tape. Gaff tape is absolutely necessary for every production.
I have heard of that. Not I'm not really familiar with it though.
Yeah, it's like this black tape. Hold on a second. Where is it? I have a little bit here.
You just pulled that right out. Wow.
Yep. Gaffer's tape is like this multi-use tape. It's like a flat black on the top side, and this sticky side, it doesn't leave residue. That's the biggest thing about it. You
Oh
know,
wow.
most
Okay.
tapes like duct tape or something like that is going to use a sticky residue, but
Hmm.
this you can use it for a lot of different things. One of his main uses is to tape down cables and cords so that you reduce trip hazards on a shoot.
Okay.
Um, but it's also good for something like this. Let's say your microphone is like missing a screw or something. You
Yeah.
need to
Okay.
stay stable. You can throw some gaff tape on it, keep it still, you know?
So basically duct tape, but for filmmakers.
Yes, duct tape for
Okay.
filmmakers.
I love
And
that.
yeah,
It
man,
it
it's an awesome tool.
it doesn't leave residue, which is really nice, especially because you're using it on this expensive equipment. So now you don't
Yes.
have that on there.
Yeah.
I might get myself something.
That's my favorite tool.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
And the thing is, this is like what 2 inch gaff tape. They make 3 inch, 4 inch. You know, it could be that wide. You know, and that means you don't have to go. You know, put two strands of this. You can just go one strand across
Oh yeah.
your cords or whatever, and you're good.
So in your opinion, where should a beginner put their money first when buying equipment?
A laptop
That wasn't even on my
with
list. I had camera, lens, audio, or software.
what you gonna do with what you gonna do with the video?
Literally, I don't know.
what are you, you gotta,
I don't know. Try
you
and edit on the
gotta,
camera, I guess. That's, yeah. Laptop, there you go. That's the answer.
well, okay. Let me back up. So it depends on what you're gonna do with it. If you're going to be like filming for somebody else and you're just handing off footage, then
Mhm,
yes, a camera, right? If you're trying to be a content creator or you're going to go into business, you know, creating content for somebody else,
mhm,
filming for somebody else, then you want to be able to edit it and give them a final product, final, you know, project or whatever. So I would go with in that case, I would go with a nice high powered laptop.
what's something that you think people overthink and sometimes maybe even underthink when it comes to production?
Hmm.
Let me tell you what my thought was. My
Yeah,
original
go
thought
ahead.
was lighting. Sometimes
Okay.
I'm sure it could be overthought, but then I know for sure it would be underthought, I guess. Definitely, I've seen things that have been the lighting should have been more of a focus. So that was my guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, those are good. I think underthinking um location. Um
Hmm.
Location is big. It can make or break a shoot,
Okay.
quite honestly. Because let's say for instance, you take a DP like myself who likes to do natural lighting and you put him somewhere with no windows, then that's like it's like cutting off your right arm and your left arm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, granted, any DP worth of saw is going to come in with lights to create, a mood or what have you. But a space with that's well lit, with windows is like heaven. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because you can do a lot with that, especially if you want to have a nice soft look to your project. Now, a lot of stuff we do is like, documentary type stuff, um, where we have a talking head, somebody who's there and they're talking to camera or off camera, like so. And you want to have a nice depth of field where the background is all nice and milky soft, like you see on both of our cameras. Um, but that's because this is effects from Zoom. But um,
Yeah, I know it.
this is an actual effect that can be done with the lens,
Mhm.
um, preferably the 50 millimeter lens, 1.4. Um, uh, and so yeah, for me, I think location is really underthought. The thing I can't stand is to see somebody sitting up against a wall looking at the video camera.
Yeah.
There's no creativity in that. Yeah.
No, I mean, even me who's not that experienced, I know to put the chair 10 feet from the wall,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because,
Always
yeah,
create depth.
I mean, I have definitely seen those people sit right up against the wall. Everything is in focus. There is no texture. There is no interesting thing about it. And
Yeah.
it really does make for a boring shot.
Agreed. Agreed. Um, so that's something that's underthought. Um, Overthought, I think, I don't know. I mean, it's because like the more gear you bring in, the better. Um, because you have options. I think, well, sometimes I think you can just bring too much stuff.
Mm.
So, um, planning allows you to um decrease how much stuff you bring onto a shoot. So I think sometimes it's overthought how much gear you're going to need. That's always good to have a backup
Hmm.
for different things. But if you know what you're going to do going in, um, take what you need and then have a backup for that stuff, and then I think you're good in
Okay.
general.
Okay. That's a
Yeah,
great answer. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate the time.
yeah,
And for
man.
you guys who are listening, this is just a preview for for another episode with Keith in season 2, which will be coming out in August sometime. So again, I really appreciate your time. And I'll be seeing you hopefully at church soon.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Hey, thanks for bringing me on. It's been a pleasure. And congratulations with the podcast.
Thank you.
And I wish for your much success for you in doing this. This is really cool, man. Stepping out and just doing it.
I
So
appreciate it. That
kudos.
means a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Well,
welcome.
have a good week. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Say hi to the family for me and the dog.
I will. I will. Take care,
Okay,
buddy.
you too. This was another episode of the Why I Create podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, remember to stay tuned for the second part coming in August. Don't forget to follow our socials. We're on TikTok and Instagram. And another reminder, I have an EP dropping on July 2nd, which will have some original tracks from an upcoming episode. If you haven't already, please follow and share the show and go and listen to our previous episodes. I appreciate you being here. See you next time.